Hey guys, how's it going? DUJ2 here, and welcome back to Fortnite Save the World, and welcome to a video where we're going to talk all about the inventory issues that recently happened in Save the World, as well as kind of break down what exactly we know happened, what we think happened, and kind of where we are right now. I know that this video is actually coming out about a week after everything happened, all the inventory stuff happened. And it's actually not the first time it's happened. It's happened before in the past in Save the World. But this time was a little different because it affected a much wider range of people, apparently. So we're going to be hopping around a little bit through things here. And like I said, it did start happening about a week ago. I never really made a video directly talking about it. There were a couple of videos where I was like, hey, you know, we've heard this is happening and this is what we know so far. But I never really made a video dedicated on it because I wanted to wait until hopefully Epic Games did tell us what they think happened, and they did. So we're going to start. We're going to start by jumping first into our Trello board. Now, fair warning, this video is going to be a little long. We're going to go through a lot of information. We're going to be talking a lot. So please understand that this is not really a let's talk. This is more of an analysis video about everything that we know happened, and more of an information thing. So we're going to start here in the Trello board. For you that don't know what the Trello board is, the Trello board is a really cool place where you can go and see what Epic is currently working on, what the Fortnite team, the developer team, is actually working on, because they'll put up here for Battle Royale, creative mode, Save the World issues, mobile issues, a bunch of different things here, as well as general issues. You can also, over here in the useful links, you can actually report a bug, you can look for technical support, all that kind of stuff. I'll leave a link down below in the description if you guys want to go check it out. So if you see here, this one is actually a please read update. It's very interesting because this was posted on January 17th. Today is January 23rd, I believe. Yes, wow. 2020 is just... I can't believe we're almost done with the first month. So this was added January 17th by the Epic community team. And it was set as a top issue, which is kind of interesting after several days of not really talking about it, that they would, you know, kind of push it out this hard. But anyway, the update said, we've implemented a fix to prevent future loss of items from backpack and storage, as well as the ability to build structures for Save the World players. If you are now unable to use build actions or save in-zone backpack changes due to hitting this issue, please contact player support. So from what we know here, and this was like the this was the first time that, unless you were on Reddit, I take Trello kind of like Twitter. Now, Twitter is not as, you know, kind of thing. They did kind of address that there were some issues in Save the World. Twitter is much more of a bigger, wide audience for me. Trello is more of, you know, once you've been playing a little bit and you're kind of looking at what's going on, how it's going on. Now, this is the first time that we really heard something, you know, like official about, hey, there's actual an issue and there is a fix. Now, next we're gonna go to something that was posted 2 days ago. Let me pull it up here. Yes, so 2 days ago over on Reddit, we got this item wipes update 121/2020. Excuse me. Hey everyone, we wanted to give you an update on where we're at with the inventory wipe issue. Now, granted, this was 4 days, or I guess 3 days, after the Trello board kind of posted that, hey, this is what's going on. What happened? Shortly after 11:40, and this is wonderful because they kind of give us all the information we kind of want, and we kind of can dig a little deeper to see what else would happen. So what happened? Shortly after 11.40 launch, we saw a single report of a player reporting loss of backpack and storage inventory. At the time, this seemed likely related to the server performance issues that also surfaced with the release. These were, a lot of you guys know that I did talk about this before. There was an tutorial glitch where, for some reason, you would get stuck. You know, the server issues, the server lagging. the freezing, the desyncing as they called it before. So because of that, if you desynced, if you froze, if you disconnected from the server, kind of, you would get kicked out of the game. You'd have to close your game or reopen it, and when you reopen it, you get a chance sometimes to rejoin a game. If you try to rejoin a game at that time, you would get kicked back into the tutorial. A lot of us experienced this. And it was actually kind of fun at first because you got to replay the tutorial. But I did it several times before the whole backpack issue started and inventory wipes thing started. And I gotta tell you, I had tons of fun. It got boring fast, but I never lost anything. Nothing ever happened. We focused efforts on increasing server resources and finding an underlying memory bug to make sure that these server-wide issues were resolved. Additionally, we deployed a server patch with additional protection against the backpack and storage wipes, independent of the server performance fix. The inability to build is a direct result of loss of backpack inventory, and both are rare instances that impacted less than 0.1 of the player base. Now, if 1 million people are playing, that's still pretty significant, you know, for a group of people. Right now, I don't think there's that many people playing Save the World. Maybe, you know, a few, I don't know, maybe 100,000. That'd be pretty cool if it was. Probably less than that. But this, what they're describing right here, exactly here, is exactly the same thing that we experienced way back over 2 years ago. Actually, you guys may have found that video. I know a lot of people have been commenting on it, where I made a video over 2 years ago where it was like, oh no, my inventory got wiped. And it's like my inventory got wiped. I lost the ability to build everything, exactly what they described here. Now, it's very odd that the exact same thing happened again. And honestly, I remember I was streaming at the time. Yes, I was streaming at the time. I made a video after about it because I went like a whole weekend without being able to build, being able to do anything. It was actually quite frustrating. If you guys want to watch that video, I'll make it pop up there in the corner if you guys can go check it out. It's kind of funny to see way back when that happened. The inability for impacted players to save changes to backpack, meaning items farmed would not save to your inventory or items used would not be consumed, is a more subtle result of emergency safety measures to prevent further loss of items. The inability to build and prevention of backpack saving should now be resolved for all players. If you're still unable to build, please reach out to player support. We're closely monitoring to see if any further losses are occurring since these fixes have released, and haven't seen any factual reports since this went live. What's next? We're working on a grant for players who lost backpack and storage inventory. This grant will contain an item pack with a plethora of materials, building, crafting, etc. to help compensate for the loss of inventory based on the player count level. We currently do not have a time frame for this grant, but we'll update this thread when the grant is fully completed. We deeply apologize to those who lost their world inventory. We realize this is a huge hit to those who have spent a great deal of time farming those materials. Okay, so this right here, this grant that they're going to be giving. Now, for those of us who were affected by the inventory, you know, bug, building glitch like years ago, we got a huge amount of resources in that time. We even got resources that are not really in the game yet or going to be used, like the honey or the 6-star materials, the vendor tech materials. They've said that those aren't going to be used, but we got them. We got them in that grant back then because, well, they were trying to compensate. It was compensation in that sense. Now, I will say this, at the beginning of the game, when the game first started, compensation when there were bugs was much bigger than what it is now. Now it doesn't really happen. The interesting thing about this is that they can't look back and see what you had before to just restore everything you had. That's kind of interesting to me. That it's, I don't know. I'm not a programmer. I don't understand that. But it's very interesting to me to see that happened. Now, hopefully this will be soon, because the people right now who lost everything, they're out there farming, trying to get back, you know, everything. They're not going to get back what they had before, apparently, which is just, that's horrible. That's horrible. But hopefully they're going to get something that is going to compensate them relatively for what they lost. Now, was it back in 2018? I thought it was back in 2017 when it happened, actually. I actually should have looked through my videos to see exactly when it was. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to jump over here into Reddit, and we're just going to follow up a little bit. So This happened on 5 days ago. Hey everyone, the first initial thing when they said that they were investigating the inventory issues, that there was a problem happening and they were going to DM. And all of this started right here. Boop. So this was a post 7 days ago from on a post where Magist replied right here, said, yep, directly related. There's an odd bug where severe instances of lag can push players back to the tutorial. This doesn't impact game progress. You can leave the tutorial and it will place you back in the front end map. Map front end, sorry. So the desyncing and all of that from here is really where a lot of it came from, what I thought was going on. So a lot of people were saying, you know, that the inventory bugs, the wipes and all that was directly related to the tutorial. That's what we heard. Now, as they said there was actually a very small amount of people who were affected. Now, I've heard a lot of people tell me they were affected. There's been a lot of people who are like, oh no, my inventory got wiped. Please give me free stuff. I've heard that a lot. I don't know. I honestly can't tell you guys if I know exactly who got wiped or not. From what they're telling us, it was a very small amount of people from the community. Now, the amount of reports I've seen that, like, people saying they got inventory wiped, well, you guys just got to take their word for that. Now, this is the important thing about this. I have to say that it seems like it was a very specific set of circumstances that could lead you to be able to get your inventory wiped. If it was just 0.01% of the entire community that was affected, I understand why they didn't just shut down the servers. Now, this is where I'm kind of like on the fence about all this. I kind of feel that the amount of misinformation that was out there when this happened caused a very large percentage of the community to not play, missing out on a lot of stuff, missing out on time playing. And even worse, because people didn't play during this time, to be honest, a lot of people went to play something else. And issues like this, when they're not addressed like to a wider audience, and I understand they want to avoid a panic, they don't want to avoid stuff like that, but it's very important to realize that because people panicked in a different way, the amount of content creators, the amount of content that is made about Save the World, it's quite significant. So for me personally, I kind of tried to tell everyone, hey, you know, I'm not stopping playing because I think it's fine. You know, as long as you don't do these particular steps, you shouldn't encounter that problem. Now I find out that there was a whole different problem that was actually going on, and it wasn't really related to the tutorial glitch. That's kind of scary. So for me personally, I do want to be able to, I want to be able to talk about this stuff when it happens with the correct information. But to be honest, and this is directed at Epic, if anyone's watching, giving us a little bit more information, basically saying, you know, there's potentially this happening. If it's a widespread panic about it and a large amount of people are not playing or pulling back from playing or starting to play other games, potentially they're going to be lost. Those people are going to go play something else. That's just how it is, and they might get hooked on a different game and not come back to Save the World. It's going to definitely hurt the community. It's going to definitely hurt the game. So information more to the point of, you know, if this wasn't a big enough issue to shut down the servers, totally understand it. I completely understand why they wouldn't, you know, create that kind of a panic. But more of an information on, you know, on Twitter or something, just saying, you know, there's a current issue in Save the World, we're investigating. Please, you know, continue playing, or if if you want to, you can stop playing until we have some information. This actually took this took almost a week. This took almost a week to fully get some information about exactly what is going on and everything. So that in a sense, and I know it just says 6 hours there, but I don't think I've refreshed this in a while. Let me see. Excuse me. Yeah, it says 1 day ago now. I know I just noticed that it said 6 hours here. Yeah, so it's been over a day now since this came out. As of this moment, we believe the inventory wipe glitch is gone, but it doesn't mean that another one can't come up in the future, or this one might still be around there. I completely understand, as a player who's put in over 751 days. 71th day or 72th day, because now today is my 752th day. I understand that encountering something like this would be it would really, really suck. It would be horrible to log in and find that everything that I've worked for the past pretty much 3 years is gone, and I've lost everything, and trying to farm and start from scratch, even if I have all my schematics and everything, it would be very difficult for me to be like, okay, let's go for it. Also, the fact that there is no immediate compensation for anything. I know there's a lot of people out there who are helping each other, which is fantastic, giving people who have lost stuff to be able to recoup and everything. That's awesome. But if they're not really working on and talking, if they're talking to the players affected and communicating with them directly about, hey, we're going to be able to give you this back, or etc., or even from the beginning, just give them a basic amount, like a single stack of everything, just one stack of everything, until they figure out a little bit more of, if it's only been a very small amount of people affected, they can go case by case, figure out what that person had, and try and recoup them, and maybe a little bit more from what they were. I think that's fair. So I hope that the people who were affected aren't just sitting there waiting. And to wrap this up, Epic, if that's the case, then a lot of people are going to move away from the game too, and I don't want to see that happen. I love this game. I think it's really great. I love playing with everyone. I really hope that they are really focusing on communicating with the people affected, and also communicating with the community. It's important for the community to know that Epic is listening to people, but also that they understand the amount of time. That's the thing. It's time. The amount of time that some people are putting into this game. It's a huge amount of time, and you can't get that back. So that's a bit. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Like I said, this video was purely just gonna go through the information of it all, what we know that happened, what we know where we are right now. As of this moment, it should be completely fixed, so there shouldn't be any fear. I know there's still people who still ask me every day, is the inventory wipe still happening? Can I play now? There's people who haven't played in a week, which, if you lost out on the compression burster, I'm very sorry, because that thing's awesome. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching, guys. As always, I am DUJ2. If you guys enjoy this video, if you enjoy what I do on my channel, please do me a huge favor and have yourself a fantastic day. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.